In 1977, the world changed when Star Wars was released. 3 years later, in 1980, The Empire Strikes Back, the sequel, was released, and introduced us to Master Yoda, a lovable but wise Jedi Master who proceeds to drop the most poignant line in this series. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. Yoda's point, in the context of the film, is to remind Luke Skywalker that the Force is not physical, but spiritual. A spiritual energy that surrounds and connects all living things. Yoda is teaching that true identity lies in the luminous self, not the physical decaying body, and that one's potential is limited only by their mind, not their physical form. Carl Jung described the self as the archetype of wholeness, the unifying center of the psyche, encompassing both conscious and unconscious. In other words, it is the stuff that makes you who you are, both consciously and unconsciously. The self is not just who you think you are, it is the deeper connecting stuff, the deeper organizing principle that contains all that you are, known and unknown. The luminous part, to bring it back to Master Yoda, is that fuller dimension, the part of you that transcends, the limit of the physical body and external roles. Yoda's teachings and Jung psychology converge on the same point. We are more than meets the eye. We are more than the surface layer that we identify with. And this is true of all teaching. The task of the teacher isn't control or authority. It's to make the luminous parts, the selves of the learners, glow. The task of the teacher is to hold space where that luminous part of the student can emerge, where knowledge flows like the Force, not top-down, but between all beings in all directions. To see learners as luminous beings is to treat them not as crude matter, to be molded or buckets to be filled. It means recognizing that each learner already carries within them the materials of wisdom and creativity and connection. The teacher does not own these things. The teacher does not disperse them. The teacher tends them like sparks in a fire, fanning them until they burn on their own. This also means stepping away from the illusion that education is about control. Control may shape behavior, but it cannot awaken the self. Control might drill facts into memory, but it cannot make them glow. Only when learners are trusted to bring their own luminosity into the space, their questions, their creativity, their doubts, their ideas, their masteries, their mistakes, can the luminous being appear. Yoda reminds Luke that the Force flows through all things equally. In the same way, knowledge is not the possession of a few top people in their field, a few experts at the top, but something that flows through the entire community of learners. That's everybody. That's us, that's me, that's you. Teachers, students, and peers all contribute equally to the flow of knowledge. All contribute equally to this thing that we call knowing. And when this truth is lived out, the classroom becomes less a factory for producing compliant workers and more a living field of luminous beings, learning together, strengthening each other, growing towards wholeness. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. And so the question becomes, how do we as learners, as mentors, as human beings, honor that light? It begins by refusing to see ourselves and each other as crude matter. The grades, the jobs, the titles, the limitations, those are surface layers. They are crude approximations of the self, but not the self. They are crude approximations of something real, but not as real as the self, not as real as the light. The luminous part is deeper, the curiosity that asks to question, the creativity that invents new ways forward, the courage to connect with others in learning. Every time we choose to further these things in ourselves, in our students, in our communities, we step into the current that Yoda describes. We let the force of knowledge and growth flow, not downward from above, but outward in all directions, because luminous beings are we. And when we remember that, when we build learning spaces to honor the light, to honor truth, we do more than transmit information. We kindle light. We help each other to see. And in a world obsessed with crude matter, that may be the most radical lesson of all.